Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a travel review on our girls trip from 2023 aboard Carnival Freedom to the Bahamas. Here's the little video of Christmas 22 when we surprised the girls with their girls trip. Needless to say, they were pretty excited, and we were too. In April of 2023, we headed out on our girls' trip to the Bahamas aboard Carnival Freedom. We flew from Springfield to Orlando aboard American Airlines, and our cost for the flight was $515 each. We booked a hotel close to the airport, Comfort Inn and Suites. It was around $150 for the night. We all shared the room. It had free shuttles to and from the airport, which we did take advantage of the next morning. On the day of boarding, we shuttled back to the airport, and then we hopped on our Carnival transportation, which were buses that were shuttling us to the port, Port Canaveral. We had previously booked these on our Carnival app. They were $74 for 2 people one way. It took about an hour to get over to the port, so the girls took a nice nap. When we got to the port, everything was super organized. You went through that port really quickly, probably about 15 minutes to board. We boarded with our passports. You could use a driver's license and a birth certificate. Every cruise I've been on, the ports, when you actually got in the terminal, have been very organized, very well run. They know what they're doing, and they keep you moving and get you through to where you're actually boarding the ship quickly. This is us getting on board. You walk across that gangway, and then you're on the ship, and it's just like, there you are. First day of getting on the ship, you are going to want to get in line, get some Guy's Burgers or some Blue Iguana. Those are kind of the favorite hits when you get on the ship. You're going to want to do some people watching and start taking some pics right away. People watching is at its finest on the first day because everybody is, getting a drink and doing a lot of dancing, and the crew is all up on the deck and they're really putting on a big performance. They tell you can't get in your rooms till about 3 o'clock, so you have plenty of time to explore the ship, check out what activities you might want to do, get some food, get some drinks, lay out. Make sure you take your backpack carry-on personal items so that you can, change into a swimsuit, so you can go ahead and take advantage of the nice weather and start laying out, playing in the pools, doing all the fun stuff. Also, make sure you bring some lanyards so you can put your key in the pocket of your lanyard. You're going to use those for everything. It's going to be your room key. How you charge everything you need to do is on that. They're not going to take any cash on board, so you need to make sure you have a lanyard so you have that always with you. Day 2 aboard our ship, we are headed to Nassau. We chose to do a excursion with Atlantis. We did book it directly through the cruise ship just because it was going to offer transportation to Atlantis and we wouldn't have to get off and find a taxi to get there. Atlantis is pricey. It is expensive, and there are several different options that you can do in Nassau, but you do have to book kind of a resort if you're wanting to get to the beach because they're all kind of private owned, and I also think for safety's sake. So one of the big things that you need to know is the night before going to Atlantis, you are going to have a waiver you need to fill out. Fill it out, because we did, and we got to cut to the front of the line on the day of, and there was a huge line to get in Atlantis because people had not filled out their waiver. Atlantis cost $439 for 2 people. We knew we'd probably never come back to the Bahamas, so we went ahead and splurged on this excursion. And the beaches of Atlantis did not disappoint. Look at that water. It's crazy. Clear, beautiful, white sand beaches. Now, it looks like it's stormy in this picture, and it was, but it actually never hit our side of the island. It did rain over where the cruise ship was, but we never had storms over on our side, so it was great. The girls loved the waves here. It was pretty rough. The water was just like rolling in, and I mean, that water was probably the clearest water I've ever seen. We fully took advantage of beach time in Atlantis. We laid on the beach, we sunbathed on the beach, we played in the water, we got rolled by the waves. We just took tons of pictures of the ocean. It was so much fun and what we had all been waiting for. Because a cruise ship is nice, but you really want to be off of the cruise ship on an excursion. That's the best part of going on a cruise. It's like a floating hotel that gets you to where you want to be. And we really, really did enjoy Atlantis. They have some rides and other things available that we eventually got to, but we spent the good part of the morning on the beach. One of the rides is this big Mayan tower thing. Those rides are rough. We did several of the slides and we spent a lot of time on the lazy river. It kind of had some rapids and other fun things, so it wasn't just laying on the river. It was hot in April, like the weather was in the 80s. It wasn't so hot you couldn't stand it. It was just like gorgeous weather. And we kept thinking that that storm might come our way, but it did not. Overall, we had a great time in Atlantis, a great time on the beaches, a great time just at that resort. Again, we walked through the aquarium to get to the beaches, so that was neat to see. There was a casino, other things you could walk through if you wanted to, but we were there for the ocean. Now lunch, we did get hungry. Lunch was not included in the price of that ticket, surprisingly. And their food cost about $40 for 2 people to eat. And I do believe we just got like chicken strips and fries, and somebody got a burger and fries. And that food was just like theme park mediocre, right? It was not good. And I don't drink soda, so we were looking for bottled water because we did bring some bottled water with us, but at this point we'd been there half the day and we were thirsty, and this was the only water that was available. And if you've never had water in an aluminum can, let me tell you, it's just disgusting. So make sure you pack plenty of bottles of water because we were super thirsty and that water tasted like pond scum. And it wasn't cheap. I probably spent $20 on 4 bottles of water. There's somebody cleaning the aquarium. And then we headed back on our shuttle to our cruise ship from Atlantis. And the driver was really nice. He took us by the U.S. Embassy, what you're looking at right now, took us down some of the little streets in the Bahamas, told us about poverty in Bahamas, especially how COVID affected it. It was a pretty neat little drive back to our ship. And then we checked out some of the port shops, bought a few souvenirs, got my Christmas tree ornament, and then we headed back to get on the ship. We had a great day in Atlantis, in Nassau. It was really a lot of fun. Glad we went, glad we saw it. Back on board the ship, we are headed out of Nassau. We all were wore out, but we still found some energy, played some slots. Went to some trivia games, took some more pictures. The girls were always doing little photo shoots. One thing Carnival could definitely improve on is their pools. Their pools get so dirty. I swear it's just alcohol and pee in that pool. We never got in the pool, our feet maybe, and then you still wanted to wash off. They need to filter them better or limit something, no drinks in the pool, something like that, because you can't even take advantage of swimming in the pool. Carnival Freedom is not a huge ship, not one of their newest ones, but still you'd like to be able to get in the pool while you're out on a cruise to the Bahamas. We did go to main dining that night. The girls were loving our room attendant. He was fabulous. They always are, but he was really great, always making animals for them, telling me and Mindy which way to go because we were lost continually to our room. We did have some waves. I think a couple days, me and Hallie both were sick. We sat in the hot tub every single night, watched the movies on the big screen. That was probably our favorite place to be. The next day we went to Princess Cays, which is Carnival's private island. This was a much more relaxed stop. Princess Cays was our second stop on our cruise. We did go ahead and rent a float for the full day, and we rented a pool noodle and a locker for the full day. I believe it was like 20, 10, and maybe 10 again. You're going to want to do that because beforehand on your Carnival app, because all of this stuff kind of rents out. We were going to do a paddleboard or like a big 3-wheeler that floated, and we didn't, and we should have. So this place was gorgeous. This is their private island. The water was calm as compared to Nassau the day before. You could just sit in it and see your hand. I mean, it was just so gorgeous there. When we first got there, there was a bit of rain, but it was still warm enough that you weren't freezing. The rain cleared off in the first 10 minutes, and you were good to go. Now, this is a tender port, so you have to get on a ship off of the ship to get tendered over, whereas Nassau, you docked right at the bay. We can't say enough how much you need sunscreen. We brought 4 cans of sunscreen. We still ran out, and we're all pretty tan people. So make sure you bring sunscreen because it's over $30 a can. on the ship, and even in Nassau it was about $30 because they know that you're going to have to pay that on the ship, so you're going to buy it anyway. So make sure you bring as much sunscreen as you possibly can. It was a lot of fun at their private island. I will say the food was horrible on the private island, and it was definitely Carnival that was feeding us. It was absolutely horrible. And when you get back on the ship, they had the buffet closed, and they had not a lot of things open besides Guy's Burgers, and you were hungry. All in all, we really enjoyed our Bahamas trip with the girls. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good memories made. The beaches were awesome in Nassau and at their private island. The water was probably the clearest we've all ever seen. Weather was fantastic. The cruise ship was pretty good. Food was mediocre, but Carnival did a pretty good job of running things. We would definitely do it again. The cost wasn't that expensive, and we really enjoyed our time. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe for more trips. Have a good day.